Hello students, in this video we are going to study how we can create a table with the help of LibreOffice. We have already created a database and now in the database we are going to create a table. So what is a table? Table is a basic unit which we require to store a data in the database. If you want to store any type of data in an organized manner, you require a table for it. So here is an example of table. You can see it is a table where you have 3 rows, that is 1, 2 and 3, and you have 5 columns: roll number, name, address, standard and date of birth. The names of the column, that is the very first row, it consists of fields. Okay, so roll number, name, address, standard, date of birth is considered as fields, and the rows are called as records. In short, you can say the columns are called as fields and the rows are called as records. So what is the work of table? Tables are organized in the form of columns and rows, and before you are creating a table, user should first decide the entity. Now what is the entity? Entity is a real world object which is about data to be stored. Now each entity has a collection of attributes. Here, for example, if you take this is a table which is related to student. So student is an entity, and roll number, name, address, standard, date of birth, these are the attributes of that entity. Okay, so the entity is the student and roll number, name, address, standard, date of birth are the attributes of that entity. The information stored under each column forms a row which is called as record or tuple. So you can see here all the information is entered in the form of row, and these rows are later on called as records, or you can also call it as tuple. Now there are various types of data types which we have already studied. So in LibreOffice, the data types, or in base, the data types is divided into 3 categories. First is alphanumeric, second is numeric, and third is calendar and binary type. So in alphanumeric you have alphabets as well as numbers. In numeric you have only numbers, and in the case of calendar you have date along with time, and there is the next type, that is the binary type. So this is how the data types are given. So here you can see you have tiny integer which stores very small integer. Tiny means very small. Then big integer stores a big integer, that is a whole number. Then you have image. So here it is used to store an image. Then binary means 2 values. So binary data type is used to store binary information. Then we have binary again, fix. So this is a binary information which has a fixed length. Then you have a memo in which you can store a descriptive information, and then you have a text where you can store the text in the form of characters. You also have a number data type where you can store the number with decimal point or without decimal point. So you have number and decimal both to store the numeric value. You have integer as a data type to store integer. Then you have small integer to store small integer value. You have float to store a decimal point value, which will be in the form of point, and some other values will be there. So likewise you have all these data types which you can use. Now after that we'll see how we can create a table. So to create a table, first of all you have to open the database which is already opened. So you can see here I have opened a database, that is employee database. Now here I want to create a table. So to create a table, what I'll do is I will click on this table icon which I have already clicked. Then I'll go in create table design view. So after clicking this, a new window will open on your screen, and here you can see there is a field name and a field type. So in the field name you just have to write the name of the attributes, and in the field type you have to write the data type of those attributes. suppose your field name is a name, employee name, then the data type will be the text type. Okay, text type will be your field type. Again, in the next column, this is a description column where you have to write the description about the field. In the bottom you have the field properties. Once you start entering the field names, you will see that you have the field properties over here, and you can just set them yes. The values you have to just set them yes for entry required property. You can set default value for numeric field types, and you can set decimal places also. In this way you can create all the fields over here. So let us try to create the field. Now, as this is employee table, I will write EMP underscore name. So this is the name of my field name, that is EMP underscore name. So here the field type is text. So the name you write in the alphabetical order, so it will be text, and in the description I'll write employee name. So this is how I'm going to write employee name. Now next is the EMP address. So I want the address of employee, so I'm just going to write EMP address. So address is again going to be in the form of text. So I'll write employee address in the description box. After that I'll just write here EMP mobile number. Okay, EMP mobile number. So here it is not in the form of text. I want it in the form of number. Okay, so I'll just take it as number, and here I'll write as contact number. So in the description just you have to write that what are the details you require. Okay, so this is about it. Then after that, every time over here there is an option which comes entry required. Okay, you just have to write yes. By default it is no, you just have to take it as yes. Again, in the case of address, again you have to make it as yes. Then in the case of employee name, again you have to click the entry required as yes. So this is how you are going to make the properties part. So you can set a default value for the numeric field types, and you can set decimal places also. If you want to change any type of data type, you can check from the list and you can select the data type accordingly. Okay. Now right click on the small button present on the left side of the field name. So on the here on the field name, so at the left side here there is a button which is in a triangular shape. Okay, after just right clicking on that button, you can make the field name as a primary key. Okay, just see here, here after right clicking on this triangle, the last option is primary key. You can just make it as primary key. So this is how you can make a certain row or a certain field name as a primary key. Now the next thing is what? You just have to click on save icon to save the table name of the table and click on OK. Now this is the save icon. So after clicking here, you just have to write the table name. So the table name I will give here as EMP, and I will just click on OK. So no primary key, a unique index or a primary key is required for data record identification in this box. Should a primary key be created now? So if you want to create a primary key, you can create. So to create a primary key, just go on the triangle, click, right click to it, and I have created it. To remove the primary key, again what you will do, same process you will do, and the primary key will be removed. Now I am giving the name of the table EMP and I'll press on OK. So now your table is successfully created. So this is how you can create a table in the base using a LibreOffice. So to insert the records in the table, we'll be seeing it in the next video. Thank you for watching.